It's time for Tuesday with Thompson. Pete Thompson joins us every Tuesday for Tuesday with Thompson right here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. Mike Gill, Ryan Rothstein, and the PT is in the house as Man, I'll tell you, PT, I was texting you last night when Raffles scored that goal. Flyers 3 points out, man. 3!
Can you believe it? I mean, they're 18-4-2. You know, in this last stretch, it's just unbelievable.
18-4-2.
And no one's still buying in, I feel like, Pete. Like, every time we talk to someone, it's like, yeah, but still, that's really not their focus, and it's a tough road ahead, yet they're still winning.
Well, let's see if they beat Washington tomorrow night, and if Jake Voracek's able to play. By the way, there's some breaking news for you guys. Sam Carcini just tweeted out, as I was on hold there, that the NHL says a decision on Jake Voracek's appeal will not be made tonight, so expect it tomorrow. And then, of course, they host the Caps on Thursday. Excuse me, I got my days mixed up. It's Tuesday with Thompson. How can I not remember what day it is? Yeah. But, yes, wow. Thursday is when the Flyers play the Caps, and now the decision should come tomorrow. I guess, to me, I think that's good. You know, if the tweet came out sometime today, like, yep, they're staying 2 games. That meant that they weren't considering it. But I don't know if you guys saw that hit against the Islanders. That was Sunday, but that was the biggest bunch of hooey I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Jake Voracek put out 5 laughing emojis after that 2-game suspension came down. What are they, the GD ice capades out there? Give me a break. Guys charging down on him. He braces himself, and Voracek gets 2 games? Awful.
Well, Malkin got 1 for swinging his stick like a baseball bat.
Yeah, I mean, and then the Pirates, the Penguins were all ticked off. They thought he shouldn't have gotten any. I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason to the discipline anymore in this game. So I think the fact that they're delaying it, and listen, you know, you guys have watched this last stretch, right? The Flyers with Jake Voracek are significantly better than when he's not in the lineup.
So, Pete, there's 10 games left. Is that correct? Do you know off the top of your head? I'm looking at it now. I'm pretty sure it's 10 games left.
So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just curious from your standpoint, what do you think they have to do here to make the playoffs? I know it depends on the other teams, but 3 out, 10 remaining.
Well, a couple of those games are against the teams that are ahead of them, right? So that's the first thing. I mean,
by the way, there's more than 10 left.
There's more than 10.
How many?
Like, there might be 10 home games.
13 left, it looks like.
Okay. I was wrong, but I thought, you know.
I appreciate you making that extra gear of my brain work, Ryan. Thank you for that. Nobody told me there'd be math.
The test.
No, this is what I know, okay?
Teach.
They just have to keep taking the games that are in front of them, right? So first and foremost, you got to find a way to survive the Capitals. Now, Carter Hart's going to play. I heard you guys talking about that. So Carter Hart is back, and they basically, Scott Gordon had the choice to say, do I go with Brian Elliott, who's been good, or do I go with Carter Hart? And, like, as you guys both know, part of the reason they're in this stretch and they've gotten to where they've gotten to is because Hart has played like unbelievable. So you throw that guy in there and see if Carter Hart can steal you a win against the Capitals, and then boom, the very next night, see, because Carter Hart will be able to prepare for that game like a normal session. You know, they didn't play today. They're not playing tomorrow. You know, they'll have a nice light morning skate on Thursday morning and then a nice home game. Whereas after that game, on Thursday night, they got to get on a plane. They got to fly to Toronto. They got to check into the hotel. You know, probably be a skate optional type thing. So that's why they're going that way. It's 13 games, Ryan, 6 home, 7 away. But the teams that are ahead of them are the teams that they have to look out for. You know, you've got Washington, Toronto, and then next week Montreal. That's still a team that's ahead of them. You know, Columbus, right? There's a team they're chasing. They need them to come back to earth. And let's see here. Is the Pittsburgh Penguins still on the roster? Yeah, right before they play Montreal. So this is the gauntlet right now. Washington, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Montreal. These 4 games make or break their season.
All right. 13 games left, 34, 27, and 8. Unbelievable. I mean, 18-4, 18-4, and what was it?
18-4-2, I believe.
Crazy. Just unbelievable. Right. I mean, to be 3 points out. They were 17 back. Over, you know, like almost a month ago, 17 back, to be 3 back right now, to give us games to kind of invest in here. Unbelievable. Let me, before we jump into something else, what is your thoughts on Gordon?
So somebody asked me on Twitter. I'm glad you brought that up, MG. They said, what about Quenneville? And I said, they'd be foolish not to look at a guy like Joel Quenneville after the season because, after all, the guy's won multiple Stanley Cups, right? That said, he wants a lot of money. Is the situation right? Gordon's a guy that's come in, and I don't know if you saw, I think it was Rob Parent who put something out the other day about how, look, he's pushed all the right buttons. So as bad as Dave Haxtell was early in the season at trying to get the guys to play for him, Scott Gordon quietly has been right. In fact, after the Ottawa game the other night, a game that, by the way, they trailed 1-0 after the first period, and you're thinking, like, oh, here we go. In fact, I had even said to somebody that day, they're playing Ottawa. This is a beatable team. Ottawa sold everybody. They don't have anybody left. You got to win this game. And the guy goes, yeah, now you jinxed us. Thanks, right? I think you know the guy I'm talking about. He's in my house a lot. But anyhow, he says, now you jinxed us because we came out and stunk up the joint the first period. Gordon comes in after that first period, comes into the dressing room and says, boys, who are we playing? Who are we going up against, right? And they're like throwing out answers like Ottawa, like the Senators. And he's like, no. He's like, we're playing essentially Montreal. We're playing, the teams ahead of us too. It's not just the team they're playing. So, like, he basically woke their butts up and said, it's not just the Senators. It's Columbus, it's Montreal, it's Pittsburgh, it's Carolina. It's these teams you want to fall back to earth and try to catch.
Pete Thompson, Desean Jackson is back. Fan of the move or not a fan?
I'm a fan of it. I believe, unless I've been fooled, and I've been fooled before, or as the Who say, you won't get fooled again. No, I think that this is the Desean, mature Desean. I mean, look, I heard you guys with John McMullen earlier. He does always come in optimistic, and he's the guy that really wanted to come back here. He always seems to put feelers out to want to come back. I loved Carson Wentz's tweet. Here's the deal. I'm going to stand here and chuck it as far as I can, and you just run. I loved that. I thought that was fantastic because that is, one-trick pony or not, that is one thing that Desean Jackson can still do. Can he stay healthy? Gosh, I hope so. And maybe it was the money a little too much. I just heard somebody say Howie Roseman must have some untapped reserve or something. He just keeps going to the vault and restructuring deals and finding money.
What's been your favorite story in the past month or so, PT? Like, there's so much going on. There's the Eagles and NFL free agency. I feel like it's one of the better potential NFL off seasons we're going to have and we're going to see in quite a while. The Flyers story is as good as any, and the Sixers are right there. And then the Phillies, obviously, with Bryce Harper, spring training's in full force, and there's a lot of focus on that as well. You're a baseball guy, a hockey guy. Is there anything that you're leaning your attention towards a little bit more?
Well, I certainly was. I mean, I'm over the moon about the Harper signing, and I heard MG say, like, he won the press conference. Will he win the fans over? The guy, and he had that conversation with Mike Schmidt, too. I mean, nobody knows Philly better than Schmitty, right? Or Pete Rose played here, and Harper's a big Rose fan, talking about what the expectations are from Philly's fan. If you put all that together, Ryan, I'd say the Bryce Harper signing, just a lead up to that, too, where we all kind of went bipolar, didn't we? We were like, I hate the guy. To hell with him. Right? And then, we got him. Woohoo! I mean,
we love
you. 180 in such a short time. That's so Philly fan, too. That one probably leads the way for me, but I put the Flyers right up there because everybody's written them off, and somehow they're remarkably still alive. And then this Eagles team, man, where they don't rebuild, they reload, and tinker a little bit and find the way to make the move. I love the Malik Jackson. You asked me about the wrong Jackson, Gill. Desean Jackson, that's cool. Malik Jackson, sweet.
I think you should be more excited for Desean. I'm surprised about how people have not people have watched this team since Jackson really left the first time. They've never really replaced him. The only time they replaced him is when they had Torrey Smith and they won the friggin' Super Bowl.
That's true. And Torrey Smith will be the first to tell you that he didn't really come on until the postseason, right? He didn't do a lot in the regular season. It was down the stretch. He made a catch in the playoffs, right? Got good in the postseason, right? Torrey Smith didn't have a lot during the regular season. Look, I think if you get, 2/3, maybe even dare I say it, just a third. Plus, am I wrong? Can't Desean Jackson still return punts? Like, who's supposed to return our punts and kicks, right? I mean, he's multi-versatile.
I love the move. I think it's something that they were definitively lacking. Hey, PT, did you watch the show Big Love?
No, but I remember you talking about it. That's our guy, man, Bill Paxton, right? And then who was on that? Jeannie Triplehorn was on it,
yes.
right? Chloe Savigny.
Chloe Savigny, good pull.
Yeah, pulling that out of my rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have not watched that.
Did you? I asked you. Did you see Russell Westbrook last night in Utah tell the fan that he would
I saw it.
bleep you up and your wife?
I mean, it was funny too because I'm obviously since I'm teaching, I try to go to bed at like 10 or 10:30 or like a reasonable time. But yesterday I was so tired I actually took a nap. Now that did two things when I got home from school. One, it kept me awake for the Flyers game, and two, then I had trouble going to sleep. So it's like 11 something, 11:30, and I start seeing all these tweets about Russell Westbrook, and I'm like, oh God, what happened, right? And then I start reading them, and I'm trying to like play the video. I mean, I heard you say about Barkley, and that's true. Like he threw a guy through a bar window in Milwaukee. Charles Barkley did, and then remember he spit on the girl, Gill. He was trying to spit at the guy, and he spit at the 10-year-old girl
in Milwaukee.
Did that also happen in Milwaukee?
I thought so. That's what I said. He had multiple. Yeah. He was talking about Milwaukee on Inside the NBA the other night, actually. He made some sort of reference to Milwaukee that I laughed because I realized that he had all these issues in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing, and I've heard everybody talk today, too. Like, what other sport can you get that close to the players? There isn't one. Not in hockey, not in baseball, not in football, but in NBA.
Well, baseball, when the guys go for a foul ball and they can fall into the bleachers.
Yeah, and then Jason Worth curses out the dad in front of his son, and the kid cries because his dad just got cursed at by Jason Worth.
Did you see James Dolan yelling at the fan?
Yeah, give me a break. And now he's trying to spin it that he got ambushed. Dude, you're worth like millions, if not billions. Go play with your band. What is it, Dolan and the Dolomites or whatever that stupid band is?
It is something ridiculous like that. Like the fan says, like, it's so funny, too. You're at Madison Square Garden, right? And it's like one guy's like, sell the team. And the guy's like, wait a second. What'd you say?
And then Dolan goes over to security and says, that guy there? That guy, that shirt?
Yeah. He's like, enjoy watching the games on TV, pal. But the guy's like, it's just my opinion. He's like, no, it's not. It's not an opinion.
Yeah, then what is it?
It's a great exchange, though, between Dolan. He is so insecure in the video. It's unbelievable how insecure he is.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I almost felt for him.
Nah.
For Dolan?
Yeah.
Dolan's one of those guys, love owners like that. Dan Snyder, James Dolan, these wackadoodles that somehow fall into billions and own teams and then just continually screw them up. Attaboy, James Dolan.
Crazy.
Just keep screwing up the Knicks for the next century. That's fine.
You got to go watch the video if you haven't seen it of Dolan and the fan kind of just like, awkwardly going back and forth. Yeah. It's Tuesday with Thompson.
So you guys already talked that the fan got banned too? He's permanently banned by the Jazz. Is that just coming down? Am I reading that?
The fan did, yeah. The fan that was heckling Russell Westbrook, yeah. Because apparently Westbrook was just minding his own business, right?
Sure, he's innocent completely.
Well, that sounded...
was that sarcastic?
I think it's a little sarcastic because, I think he goes in with previous stuff there. I think he probably went in with an agenda. Like, I swear to God, if any of these Utah guys talk to me tonight, I'm going to show them who's boss.
Come on, man.
Jeez.
Well, they got like 4 wives out there.
That's true.
So he had he's like, I got to battle you and your 4 wives. Come on, man.
It's like Big Love.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's all full circle.
Big Love.
You see how I Seinfeld at this whole episode, this whole segment here?
Wow, mind blown.
Big Love was my nickname in college, right?
Hey, by the way,
no, it wasn't.
Your Temple Owls, are they going to get in or out Sunday? Selection Sunday, Temple in or out?
In. They beat UCF, and if they win a game in their conference tournament, I don't even know if they have to win one, but they should just to make it look good. They beat UCF. That got them in.
Temple tough, baby.
Temple tough. Time's yours.
Time's yours. Go check out Bill Belichick's pictures with him and his hot girlfriend.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's better than the pictures of Kraft and his girlfriends. Never mind. All right, it's Tuesday with Thompson here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. We'll do it again next Tuesday. All right, pal?
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you guys.